Hello, my name's John McGee. I'm the Managing Director of Durata. We're an electrical and mechanical contracting company that operate in and around the data centre and critical power industry. I really want to speak to you today about where we've come from, where we are now and where we're going to be. I'd like to say it's been easy, I'd like to say it's been a comfortable journey and a pretty slick and everything's great, but it's been far from it. Having to deal with contractors, the construction industry, various personalities, employees. Basically, I wish I'd have wrote a book. No, they're not. I can wing this.
Yeah.
Hurry up. Kids. Durata started with myself and a laptop late 2007, just when the first recession started. Yeah, what better of a time to start a business than in a recession? Yeah, it was fun. I've gone through all the ranks of project managing, quantity surveying, estimating. I did that throughout my apprenticeship and beyond. I've ran projects, I've worked as project manager, and I come into the critical power industry in 2004. The critical power industry, what it is full of, there's a lot of sales people. You sell a box for that manufacturer, and I noticed there wasn't that many people that actually could put a UPS with a generator, with some switchgear, with the cool inside. Well, from my experience, I found it quite easy and more so thoroughly enjoyable. And then it just kicked off from there, really. Like every business, I imagine, goes off at a roaring pace, and then basically the work and the customers that you pick up, some of the work that is absolutely ideal, others is not what you really want, but you take it on anyway because that's what you're all trying to develop the business. I think at this moment in time we've found a niche with a fantastic customer base, ever-evolving customer base with some serious blue-chip customers. Gone quick. That was Jake, my son. Yeah, we're in Wilfred Whitfield Way, Tees Amp on Riverside Park in Middlesbrough. Where we're filming at the minute is Durata's new head office. It was an empty building 3.5 weeks ago, and I've personally had a hand in building everything myself, everything ourselves with some of our guys that work for us. Unfortunately, or fortunately at the minute, we've got that much work on. There's only me here. So yeah, I'm left holding the baby. We're constantly expanding. We don't do a great deal of work in the northeast. We do the majority in London and the south. Also work throughout Europe and Ireland. And so ideally, well, it's our plan to replicate what we've got here in other parts of the country as well. We install uninterruptible power supplies for some of the world's largest manufacturers, Schneider, Vertiv, Delta. We're accredited and chosen to install on behalf of them. We install large battery systems, and we also work on behalf of facilities management. We've got quite a few of them on board now. The industries we're working with are the financial sectors, the construction industry. We do work with the data centres, both existing and new build. We do some white space fit out as well. Yeah, if your business can't afford to have any interruptions to power, well, you should be speaking to us. We're experts in critical power. I met Andy Mullen over 20 years ago. Andy's now our installation director. We worked on the tools together, and you see people and with various work ethics, people that you wouldn't touch with a barge pole, but Andy Mullen always had the work ethic that I actually thought we could do all right at this. If we can say that we can do it, and if we can demonstrate that we can actively work in the field, if we can actively design systems, if we can actively install battery systems, we expect our lads that work with us to do it as well. And I think that's the work ethic from the top that should flow out throughout the business. And that's what we try to adopt. Myself and Andy, we operated with electricians working with us, and then we had someone in the office. And then 6 years ago, Alison joined the team. Alison is from the corporate background and used to operate in large businesses. And when she come to us, she realised the HR was non-existent. There was no standards no standards, no procedures. So she, within about the first 6 months, she tightened the belt quite seriously with all of that. And we just have to watch our P's and Q's, and everything is done to the relevant ISO 18001, 14001, 9001, which I used to see as a bit of a pain in the arse, but in all fairness, it gets us a hell of a lot of work as long as you adhere to the procedures. Yeah, we do have a big team. The people I just pointed out are just some of the managers. We've got a lot of guys in the field as well who are constantly doing it day in, day out. And yeah, we've got an evolving team. We don't just work in the northeast, we work all over the country and throughout Europe. I've always worked away, and I do like to get away. It opens your mind, broadens your horizons, and that's what we try to instill in the team as well. We've been to some fantastic places with work, some fantastic projects that we've been involved with over the years as well. We didn't just want to pigeonhole ourselves in the northeast, want to work all over the place really, all over the country, all over Europe. One of the favourite places I've been is Tel Aviv. That was just for a site survey that turned into a bit of a jollies really, but we didn't get the project in the end. But it was cracking 2 days. It was just seeing other places, wasn't it? So, yeah. Some of the projects that we get involved with at the minute are fantastic. The site survey side of it is amazing. Most of the museums in London, Natural History Museum, the British Museum, British Library, Sony. If anyone's into PlayStations, we've been in that. That is fantastic. Yeah, so that's just to name a few. That's just some that we can name. Can we just pause for a minute? I'm just absolutely gasping for a cup of tea. Oh, thank you. Our sponsor, we sponsor the cycle team, the British Pro Continental, #1 British Pro Continental cycle team.
Why'd you do that?
I love cycling, and I still think I'm going to make the Tour de France one day. They're like Durata. They literally seem to be constantly punching above their weight in the field that they operate in. I mean, they're world champions, and some of the stuff that Durata have done and do, we're like, wow, we're with the big guys, and we're operating and shoulder to shoulder with them, and better in some occasions. And that's exactly what they were like, so we hit it off with them. But the first year of sponsorship has been an absolute disaster with COVID, so we've just agreed to sponsor them again next year. So it's a bit of a passion of mine. Don't know whether you can tell. I think what we're best at is, as soon as a client realises they have a requirement, is if we get in there at the beginning, right at the very beginning, they can tap off our expertise. We're quite bespoke with what we're doing. I mean, one of the projects that springs to mind, they had a brief of, they wanted, it was actually at the National Archives in Kew. They had a brief that they had a minimum of, a maximum of 4 shutdowns. We actually doubled their uninterruptible power supply capacity, and we doubled it and didn't have a single shutdown. And also with the UPSs that we took out, we actually reused them in the basement and set up a whole new comms room down there. They were quite pleased with that. Another one of our clients was a big investment bank. They come to us, they had no generators and they couldn't get any engineers out to fix the generator, so the site wasn't running on generator. And the UPS, the battery was absolutely shot to bits, and that was 2 days before Christmas. Within 24 hours we had the full battery swap out. The UPS is back online, at least supported by a battery, and we organised for the generator engineers to come out and sort that out. So that was quite a challenge, but we did it, and with the feedback we got from that was tremendous.
Would you say you saved Christmas?
Yes, for the investment bank, yes, certainly, especially when it was supporting a live trading floor. We take customer confidentiality seriously at Durata. I'd love to sit here and tell you everything that we've done and for who. I really would, because there's been some fantastic projects, and there is a lot of projects in the pipeline too. We do a lot of projects that we have to sign NDAs for that we can't talk about. On a day-to-day basis, we're actively doing uninterruptible power supply swap outs. We're doing battery swap outs on existing kit, doing cooling work on existing data centres. We are doing switchboard swap outs on distribution warehouses. I think now's a good opportunity to have a look at some of the testimonials for past projects that we've done, and or some of the good stuff that the customers have said about us. We're different. We stand out from the rest because we're agile. We're fastidious about our work. Everything's meticulously done, from the site survey down to the final paperwork, and all of our guys have got the same passion and delivering the same goal. I think what sets us apart is that we have a can-do attitude, and we're agile. We're not we don't hide behind the big corporate banner, although we do have a lot of procedures in place, but not strangling. Schneider, Vertiv, CBRE, Landmark, Dell, Morgan Stanley. I'm sure people would be quite envious of customers like that, which are really good names to drop. Hopefully after watching this video it's given you a bit more of an understanding of what Durata do and what we're about. If you've got any requirements for uninterruptible power supplies, generators, cooling, switchgear swap out, switchgear integration, you know where to come to. I'm going to be hanging around after you've watched this video for any questions that you want to raise or ask, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Over to you, John. Don't dare use that, I'll get absolutely trounced.